Big Al's Rant with Caden McFarland, powered by Jack Cassee Ford.
And welcome to KJRH.com. We are at halftime between the Cowboys and the Eagles, with the Cowboys leading 21-10. Bill Haisten is with us instead of my usual colleague, Caden McFarland of the Tulsa World. William, welcome to the program.
All right, Al.
Let's all hear it. Tampa Bay has been eliminated. Tampa Bay has been eliminated. Tampa Bay has been eliminated.
Mathematically eliminated.
Mathematically eliminated, 2-12.
Realistically, it was still hot outside when they were eliminated, right? Right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
So there you go. All right, let's get started here. Tyreek Hill, one Saturday, he is the absolute hero in Stillwater. 5 days later, he is in a Payne County courthouse with the charge of domestic abuse.
He was in a jail
cell
and did the arraignment by video. So yeah, within a 1 week span, Al, less than a week, he has one of the most meaningful, memorable plays in OSU football history on the punt return. He is an All Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Week. He is an All Big 12 selection. Then he goes to jail.
Goes to jail.
He gets dismissed from the program.
And OSU acted swiftly, acted correctly, and will not be available for the bowl game. And obviously, you got to believe his career as a college player is over. How far does he go in the NFL draft? How much of a mark? Our colleague on our radio show, Pat Jones, seems to think that if you can play, you're going to get drafted. But this probably cost him some money as well.
No question.
I mean, aside from the really egregious part of it.
But I don't know if he can play. You know what I mean? We know he can run, Al. We know he can run. He's in the top 2%, maybe the top half of 1% from a speed standpoint. But he's got a lot to learn from a football standpoint. And except for he had a really nice opening night against Florida State. He had the kickoff run backs against Iowa State and Kansas, and then he had the big play in Bedlam. Wasn't a whole lot otherwise in this season. So he's got a lot of proving to do.
I think we were all surprised he wasn't getting the football more.
No question.
In Oklahoma State's offense.
And when he did, Al, he tended to dance too much instead of squaring and going.
And going straight ahead. Even on the punt returns, he was having trouble doing that early part in the season. All right, I'm glad there's not video of this because I don't think I could stomach it. If you look at the police report of what this guy did, punching his girlfriend in the stomach, and she is 8 weeks pregnant. That is some nasty stuff. That
is what's been alleged, that he punched her in the face, that he punched her in the stomach, that he choked her. And so, you know, I presume that Oklahoma State officials conversed with people from the district attorney's office and then made the swift decision to dismiss him from the program.
All right, let's move on. Trevor Knight will be able to play, well, at least at practice, off that neck injury. And, you know, it's hard to gauge, Bill, about how significant this injury was because as the weeks went on, you expected maybe if Trevor Knight's okay, he'll be playing in the next game because, you could use him because Cody Thomas was not the answer in the early going. Getting hurt in Baylor, that's almost 5 weeks ago now. Neck injury, everybody talks about, whether or not you should come back from something like that, but he's been cleared by the doctors.
That's awesome. That's awesome because I mean, ultimately your foremost concern, Al, is he going to be okay? And forget football. Is he okay?
No question.
Are there going to be any lingering effects from this? And so apparently not in that way. And then apparently if he's clear, listen, if he's cleared to play, he's okay. Because there's no way they would put him out there, I think, if there was even a slight risk. And football's a risky game anyway, but he's got to be okay or they would not throw him out there.
Well, they say he can go back to practice. Whether or not that is full-fledged practice is yet to be determined.
Don't know because
we're talking putting equipment on, putting a helmet on, maybe a different thing.
Well, there's a big difference between walking out to the practice field and being a real participant. Because I know Dax Garman was on the practice field a couple of days before OSU played Baylor. Doesn't mean he practiced as such. But I'm just glad he's all right, and I hope he plays well. And OU certainly needs him.
All right, 10 years ago, if you would have said that the Baylor offensive coordinator was just named the University of Tulsa head football coach, you're saying, what?
No, you would say, why?
Why? But this is an Art Briles pupil. And oh, how far we have come. And we haven't met the guy yet. He took the job on Thursday. Dr. Greg talked about him on Friday. He'll be introduced tomorrow. What do you think?
Well, I like that he's a Texan, and I like that, presumably he arrives at Tulsa with a lot of beneficial relationships in the state of Texas that can really help in recruiting. Love that he's an offensive guy. So, you and Pat talked about it on the radio, and you're right. I mean, obviously, let's go back and review this in 2 years, and then we'll know for sure. But this is exactly the kind of guy that you expected them to hire, or you hoped they would hire. Offensive-minded, younger, energetic. So he fit the template.
Right. I saw Dr. Upham at the basketball game yesterday, and not only was he relieved, he was really enthusiastic about this guy coming in here, and they worked out the details. The one detail they hadn't worked out when we talked to Dr. Greg on Friday is whether or not Philip Montgomery is going to join the TU and be the TU head coach now by Monday, tomorrow, or is he going to stick with Baylor through the bowl game? We still don't have the answer to that.
It's a critical time in regards to sustaining relationships with guys you've got on the commitment list already, and then solidifying relationships with guys you hope to get commitments from. The clock ticking right now in recruiting, every second is precious, right? You need the guy in there.
Here's what I would do. This is the first thing that I would do if I'm Philip Montgomery. He's from Waco. Dave Campbell's from Waco. I've mentioned this a few times.
Oh, yes.
TU
Call,
needs
Al.
to get into the Dave Campbell's Texas College Football Preview.
Agreed.
Because it is such a recruiting tool. And since he's been at Baylor, since Dave Campbell lives in Waco, to me, that is a major, major, major significant deal if you can get in Dave Campbell's
You've been
magazine.
harping on that for years, and it's never resonated more than right now. You're exactly right. Even if it's a page, one page only, just to have that TU logo, a couple of pictures, yeah, absolutely.
If I'm TU, I'm seeing what the advertising rates are for Dave Campbell's prep magazines or whatever, and make sure that I'm at least in it for a couple of pages. Got to happen.
No, you're right.
All right,
Absolutely.
when we come back, Johnny Manziel, bust already? We will talk about that when we come back. And Cowboy fans, be thankful you didn't draft Johnny Manziel, because the man you took instead is having quite a rookie season.
Yes, he is.
We'll be right back.